bothersome, dependable, annoying. Yucky, jealous, bothersome, dependable. Awful means terrible, untrue, last, or wealthy. Awful means terrible, untrue, last, or wealthy. Perspective means limitation, pharmacist, eruption, or view. Perspective, limitation, pharmacist, eruption, or view. How? I'll spell this one for you. P-A-L. How means friend, lamb, sea, or boss. How? Friend, lamb, sea, or boss. Reproduction. Precaution, aristocracy, copy, or supremacy. Precaution, aristocracy, copy, or supremacy, reproduction. Ghastly means horrible, inclined, willful, or alluring. Horrible, inclined, willful, or alluring. Practicable, feasible, chilly, dismal, or muscular. Feasible, chilly, dismal, or muscular for practicable. Student, kettle, small horse, pupil, or carpet. Student, kettle, small horse, pupil, or carpet. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. That's bad. Bad. Enormous, rich, not good, or little. Bad. Enormous, rich, not good, or little. Okay. That is 10. Okay. Going around the room. Think on. DC. Do you know? Or what do you think? Not sure? Okay. If you are not sure, just say not sure. Lachlan. May not. All right. Right, come on. Yeah, you told me the same. Yeah. Okay. Johnny. Okay. Right. Yeah. You sleep. Sorry, to see. Not sure? Big now. I don't okay. That's interesting. Try to pronounce very clearly. Fear. Deceive. Okay. Mislead. Okay. Okay. Only one person so far. Mislead is correct. Deceive. Deceive. Right. The idea, of course, of this quiz is both to see who knows the words and also who knows the vocabulary. DC. You all know this word? DC. Do you want me to spell it on the board, anyone? Do you want me to put it on the board, or you know this word? You know? Okay. Okay. DC. 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 Deceive means to mislead someone or to lie to someone. Okay, next one. Annoying, coming, annoying. Bothersome. Digna. Sorry, Digna. You know or not? It's peaceful. Annoying, Vietnam. Bothersome. Okay. It's bothersome. To be annoying is bothersome. Bothersome just means to bother someone. To bother someone just means to annoy them. Bothersome. Okay. I'll write this word on the board just in case you are not sure. Okay. Bothersome. Looks like a word, but without the R. Okay. Bothersome means to annoy someone. Okay. Next one. Awful is, actually to save time, I won't go around everyone. Awful means terrible. Awful does mean terrible. That's an easy one. Most of you should know that. Awful, something that is awful is terrible. Not believe. It is awful, it is terrible that someone hit you. Okay, on the way to side of it. Perspective, anyone. View. Perspective is view. Good. Perspective is view. How? P-A-L. It's a tree. How is a tree? Don't hear it very much. So look at old fashioned. Talk about that. Okay. The word you hear mostly these days actually is mate. M-A-T-E. Someone is your mate, they are your friend. Okay. Reproduction. Yes, to reproduce is to copy. Copy something. To reproduce. A printer copies or reproduces. Copy. Ghastly. Some of you might not be familiar with this word. Useful. Spelled like this. G-H-A-S-T-L-Y. Ghastly. No. Anyone else? Anyone else, ladies? Ghastly. Not sure. Ghastly, I heard someone say, is horrible. Horrible. Okay, just in case you're not sure about that word either. Sorry about my writing. H-O-R-R-I-B. Something that is horrible. It is horrible you had an accident. It is ghastly. So ghastly, by the way, means very, very horrible. Okay? Ghastly means very, very horrible. Practicable. Practical. Yes. Practical, everyone, is feasible. Okay? Feasible. Okay. Feasible, very formal word, but again, very useful to know some of these words. Some of them were easier, some of them were hard, of course. I don't expect you to know all of them. That's why I'm trying to just teach you a few new words. You would use it in this sentence. Is it feasible to walk to the airport from here? Is it? No, it's not. It's not practicable to walk to the airport from here. Too far, unless you have all day. Okay, so something that is feasible, it means can you do it easily? Is it feasible to swim in Pontian Lake? Probably not. So feasible just means can you do it? Can you do it? It's what practicable means as well. Practicable and feasible just mean can you do it? They are all formal words. All right, only two more of these easy ones. Student. Pupil, yeah, student, pupil. Okay. And the last one's very easy. Bad is not here. Okay, so two easy ones. Did anyone, by the way, get 10? Anyone? No. Anyone get 9? Right, anyone 8? Well done. Excellent. Okay, you got 8. Excellent. Your vocabulary is very good. Okay, again, that's just to warm up everyone. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, of course, not writing task 1, speaking task 1. Again, just remind you of the key points of speaking task 1. Your answers must be how many sentences? How many sentences? 2 or 3. 2 or 3. Thank you. 2 or 3 sentences. Okay. Again, I said this many times, no one-word answers. And you can never say, I don't know. Okay, that is not. And you will get no score if you say, I don't know. Ask me something else. Okay, you'll never get any mark for that. You must answer the question 2 or 3 sentences. If you're going to use 3 sentences, what should your 3rd sentence try to be? And what? You will try to give an example. Thank you. All right, example. So those are the main 2 rules. Okay, give an example if you can. Okay, everyone. Going around the room, ask you each part 1 question. Okay, I always ask you about your hometown, so I'm going to try something different, something I haven't probably asked you before. Okay, Jamin, what do you do in your free time? In my free time, okay, I mostly don't need to say do. Okay? In my free time, I mostly watch TV or sleep. That's correct. Okay, hard to give an example of that, but possibly you can give an example of a TV program you watch. For example. Okay. I watch, for example, I like to watch cartoons. What is the name of a cartoon? Can be anything like that. Okay. So everyone, Jiaming is speaking very quietly. I need you all to speak up. Okay. So I can hear you. Does that make sense? When you do the exam, if the examiner, and I know the examiner, of course, will be closer to you than I am at the moment. What I mean by that is physically closer to you, but you still need to be able to speak clearly. Okay, remember pronunciation is 25% of your marks. So if they can't hear you or can't understand you, you lose 25% of your marks straight away, no matter how good your answer is. So they must be able to hear you. Okay, so I need to hear you clearly speak up. All right. Next one. Do you have a mobile phone? Two or 3 sentences. Do you have a mobile phone? Okay, good. Good answer. Very good. Okay. Next one. How old were you when you got your first mobile phone? How old were you? Okay, 2 or 3 sentences. What could he say? All right. I was 16 when I got my mobile phone. My dad bought me one because I passed my math exam. I used my mobile phone for games. Okay. Looking at the internet. Okay. Three sentences. Does that make sense, everyone? How to answer a question like that? Okay. I got it when I was 16. Where did I get it from? My mom or dad gave it to me because I use it for. Okay, this is how you answer these questions. Next one. What activities do you like to do in your free time?
Well, in my leisure time, I prefer doing some sport like swimming or basketball, and sometimes I like to be indoors with the video games like PUBG or Arena.
Okay, good answer. Okay. He gave some examples. All right, he talked for three sentences. Very good. Okay, Beatrice. Beatrice, what do you like to do in your free time?
Free time for friends, but to listen to music. Sometimes go outside and play badminton.
Great, good answer. Again, two or three sentences. Right, and you gave some examples. What are some of your favorite websites?
You watch Pornhub?
I really want to.
You like that?
One of the most website I use most is probably game, but another one is ChatGPT. It helped me to get 7.5 on lecture. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good. You gave an example. Again. Okay. Okay, next. Give me one positive thing, one negative thing about the internet.
That's true. We have basically the video quantity or the internet of how we want, us learning anything. So, with take example of this guy and his ChatGPT website. And why the quality is very nice and older, there's also a negative that it can like it's playing game and stuff from them.
Okay, so a good answer, but a little bit too long. A little bit too long. Remember, you don't want to give a long speech. You save that for part two. Okay? So just remember two or three sentences. So if they say what is one good thing, one bad thing about the internet, just do that. Okay? Internet is good for finding information and learning things. It's bad because there are lots of ways you can lose money on the internet. Simple as that. Remember, as I've always said, there is no right or wrong answer. They just want to hear you talking English, okay, without many mistakes or any mistakes or two or three sentences. So it doesn't matter. The content of your answer doesn't matter as long as it makes sense. Okay. Again, I'm sure I've said this many times. The Ielts test is not just a test of English, it's a test of communication. That's how well you can communicate. Okay, how often do you go to the movies?
I usually go to the movies once or twice a month because there's a movies that I am interested in, only animes, such as the Attack of Titan movie I watched the last month with my best friend. I watched it together in my free time, and that movie was something amazing.
Okay, so very good answer. I'm just if you slow down. If you can, just slow down just a little bit, so they can understand you more easily. Of course, you don't want to go too slow, but you don't want to go. I know, have a lot of ideas, okay, and they come out very fast. So just slow down to make sure they understand. Does that make sense?
I know, but I used to speak in art like this because I tend to be a professional game player, and they usually require high-speed communication.
Okay, so remember, if you are doing those, in this case, you are sitting, you're going to be sitting at a test, which requires you to, not so much speed, is to be clear. All right? All right. What is better to watch a movie on? In the cinema or on your laptop?
Watch because I'm students, so I always have my phones on learning on school. So basically, it's school for me, so this is not possible to watch.
Okay, your answer is not bad, but a little more complicated than it needed to be. Again, you use some good words. Not, you know, good vocabulary. But just remember, you can use, for the IELTS test, you can use simple words. It's okay, as long as you don't make any mistakes. All right? They can't take any mark off you if you don't make any mistakes. So, for, just in case you didn't hear the question I asked her, I said, do you think it's better to watch a movie in the cinema or on your laptop? Okay, so for me, I think an easy answer using easy words will be, yes, I think it is better to watch an action movie in the cinema because you can see on the big screen and with all the sound, okay, much more exciting. But sometimes it is better for me to watch a movie on a laptop because it's cheaper. Okay, and means I can do it at home. I don't need to go out. Does that make sense? Right, simple answer. Okay, so just say the obvious thing. Okay, remember you don't need to overthink. Some of you try very hard to think, what is the most complicated answer I can give? Okay, what is the most full answer I can give? Don't need to. Okay, the simple answer is the best. Not claim. Do you prefer to watch movies by yourself or with other people?
My friends, if I have out to see movies in the cinema, for example, last week we decided to
Okay, great. Good answer. Very good. Okay.
Will make you so secret.
Do you like to listen to music?
Oh, down.
Well, good answer, I'm very hard to hear you. Okay, and need you to speak up. Does that make sense? Okay, so like not playing, not I did very good. So I need you just to speak a little bit louder. Pretend, okay, I'm a little bit deaf, right, but I can't hear very well. So you have to speak very clearly and loud. Like I'm talking to you, okay? Okay? And if you find that hard, it's the sort of thing you can practice. Okay? Just practice, you can either speak, I was going to say speak to a mirror, but that is a little bit, sometimes a little bit hard, it's embarrassing. Maybe record if you have a phone. Okay, record yourself on your phone. In English. No one else has to hear it, just you. See how it sounds. Again, I'm sure I've mentioned this to all of you. The best way to practice speaking is to do it on your phone. That is one of the good things about phones. You can record yourself. It means you need to get used to the sound of your own voice. Some people, they hate how their voice sounds. You need to get over that. All right, all your friends and your relatives, they've been listening to your voice for all your life. Okay, they're used to it. You can get used to it too. But the phone is an incredibly useful device. to help you practice your English. Okay, I will go around this one more time. This time I will start with you, Meng An, okay? So you don't have to wait so long. Okay. Musical instruments, Meng An, do you think it's important for a child to learn to play an instrument? Is it important or not? Well, this is where you have to think quickly. Well, everyone, can you help me out, please? Is it important for a child to learn a musical instrument? Yeah, because
plus one activities in the nature. And you can also find with your friends while playing and instrument.
okay, anything else? You can have fun with your friends. Okay, it's good to learn another skill. Right? Music can help develop your brain. Anything else?
And to unwind and
Good.
hardworking.
Play music help you relax. Okay, 3 ideas. Okay, then? All right. And a little bit of a hard question, but some of the questions may be a little bit hard. The first questions, excuse me, the first questions they will ask you will be warm-up questions. Okay, where is your hometown? Okay? That sort of thing. What is your favorite hobby? What is your favorite food? Okay, they will ask you some warm-up questions. Ones you can answer very easily. Then the questions will get a little bit harder because, of course, they want to test coverage. And remember, like I said before, it doesn't matter what your answer is, but you must give one. It doesn't matter if your reasons maybe are not the best, doesn't matter. Or you can say, of course, no, I don't think it's important to learn a musical instrument because students in Vietnam don't have enough time. As it is, we are too busy learning maths and physics and boring subjects like English. Okay, we don't have time to learn music. Okay, that would also be a good answer because you are using lots of vocabulary. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Lachlan, okay, staying with musical instruments, do you think there is a good age to start learning an instrument? Yeah, do you think there is a good age when a child should begin to learn an instrument? Okay, so anyone else, can you help not late? Is there a good age to start learning an instrument? A good age,
To start,
yeah, good age to start learning an instrument.
it should be more age, like 7 or 8. Because they can learn at that age, children can learn really fast and keep their mind and motivated too.
Okay, maybe or maybe not. Maybe for young children. Does that give you an idea? Any other ideas, by the way? A good age for learning a musical instrument? Is there a good age?
Like this. Teenage.
Yeah, you think maybe a teenager because
After 15.
because
When your mind is fully developed, memorize the music and like the chord and everything.
Yeah. Okay, so he says 7 or 8. Remember, there is no wrong answer to this question. You just have to give some reason. So he says 7 or 8. Is a teenager? Anyone else?
There's no certain age because there's never been too late for somebody's training.
Good answer again. Okay, there is no good age to learn an instrument because it's never too late to learn anything. Even maybe your grandparents would learn to play something. You know, if you were talking before about doing things to relax, if it helps them relax. Okay, does that give you some answers? Then you just have to think of the obvious question. And what you would think is there. Can you play an instrument? Okay. So think about, do you know any friends who can play music? Okay, so you can say, friend, they play the violin, they started to learn when they were 8, say 8. Okay, so maybe 8 is not a good age. That is an answer to the question. Again, they are just listening to your vocabulary. Okay. All right. Neighbors, maybe not. Is it important to know your neighbor? Is it important or not?
Definitely, yes, because people in touch with we used to have the people on street, people on streets, also the same neighborhood, and this also with chance to find, I don't know how to say the words, what I mean is friends and have it's possible communication, because communication between people who live in the same.
Okay. Again, you're making the answer too complicated. All right, and then you start to, run out of, find it harder to express your idea. Okay. Is it good to know your neighbors? Yes. Okay, is one answer. It's good to know who is living next door in case there is some problem, they can maybe help me. Okay, but also I like to know who's living next door in case maybe they are dangerous, or not good people. Okay, but always useful to know who's living next door. Or no, because I am a very private person. Okay, I don't want anyone to know what I am doing. I don't really like other people. Okay, so maybe, that is still an answer. Maybe not the answer you would give, but you just have to quickly think of some reasons. Right, so again, may not, your vocabulary is good, but don't need to complicate it. Right, just again, the simple for you, just think of the simplest thing. Okay, it's good to know my neighbors because one reason is stop. Okay? My next door neighbor, I know them for 10 years, they are nice people. I know if I leave, if there is no one in my apartment, I know they will. I'll keep a lookout in case anyone tries to steal something. And just two grammar things. People is already plural, so it doesn't need an S. You said people. It's already plural, but at the same time, gives doesn't need an S. It gives me, not give you. Okay, good. Okay. Thank you, by the way, everyone, for listening to what everyone's answer is, because I hope this will help you. Right? When you are listening to what the other person's answer is and the comments that I am giving them, okay, I hope this will be useful to you when it comes to giving your own answer. All right, so again, thank you for being patient. That's great. All right. Do you prefer to get your news from newspapers, magazines, or the internet?
Well, for me, I would personally prefer the internet newspaper because it provides a much more amount of information, and I can also search it every day, every time, as long as the news from fire from Hanoi, it came from what, the last 2 years. I saw that immediately on the news because I was on the phone 24/7, and I could also keep in touch with the news.
Okay, good. Again, maybe a little bit long, but good ideas. Okay, and very short. Just remember though, not too long. Okay. All right. Do you think newspapers will survive in the future? Okay, everyone, pay attention. Okay, I'm going round in order. Do you think newspapers will survive in the future?
Hiểu câu hỏi không nào? Newspaper gì sao giấy ấy?
No. He really not sure because there are some old people who think along with newspaper instead of like technology and
And maybe you need to think of an example. This is a good one to think of an example. Like you could say, for example, my grandfather, he still likes to read the newspaper every day. Okay? But when his generation is gone, newspapers, people will stop reading newspapers. Does that make sense? All right, next one. Do you like doing outdoor activities?
Yes, I would like to hang out in the garden, very well. Around the city with my motorcycle. And I would like to go to coffee with some old friends. Talk about our schools. And how they doing, yeah.
Okay, good answer. The only thing you need to drop is would. But this sentence, you don't need to say would. You say, I like to go meet with my friends. I like to go and have coffee with them. You don't need to say, I would like to. That makes it sound like it doesn't happen if you use would. It makes it doesn't sound, does that make sense? Okay, so in this case, you don't need to say would. Okay, you just need to talk in present. Do you like doing outdoor activities? Yes, I like to go out and meet my friends. Not I would like to go out and meet. Good. All right. Who's next? Dear. Do you think you are a patient person?
very much broken people. For example, when something for too long, hearing them or
Okay. All right. So remember, you must talk in complete sentences. And again, your ideas are fine, okay? And you have good vocabulary. But just remember, as I was saying to Meg Knock, okay, just stay with the simple ideas. Okay. No, I'm not a patient person because I hate waiting for things. When somebody, if I make an appointment to meet a friend for coffee and they are late, makes me very annoyed. For example, the other day I had to wait for my best friend, and he was half an hour late. Okay, and it made me grumpy for the rest of the day. Does that make sense? Very simple vocabulary I'm using, but that's all you need to do. Okay, as long as you talk in complete sentences. It's not good if you find yourself halfway through a sentence and can't think of the end. So that's why it's generally better just to talk about simple things, simple ideas. Does that make sense? Okay. Good. And by the way, everyone, if you make a mistake during our talking here, don't worry. Okay, don't be shy. This is why we are practicing. You need to do this. This gives you a chance. I know it's hard for some of you to speak in front of other people. I understand. But gives you a chance to practice doing it. Okay. So again, if you make a mistake or I correct you, don't feel bad. Okay, this is how you learn. Right? This is why you are here. Okay, so I want to hear you make mistakes, actually. Because I know if you make a mistake and I correct it, that is one less mistake you will make next. Yeah, don't feel bad if you don't do it. Okay, what is your favorite form of public transport?
personally, I am keen on going by bus to my school because it's obviously cheap and convenient for me.
For example,
For example,
yeah, you just mentioned one before. I use the bus to go to school every day.
I use
Yeah, and it only costs me, I don't know, $15,000. Okay,
Did
that makes sense?
for instance,
Yeah,
I use bus every day, and it's only cost me about $10,000.
okay, great. Simple. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's all you need to do. Something like that. Okay, talking about the weather. What is your favorite season of the year?
My favorite season is summer because I have a lot of free time and I can play video game with my friend and with my friend and copy with them. And I will talk with them about our school.
So, good words, your pronunciation needs to improve. Okay? The main thing you need to improve with your pronunciation is saying the last consonant. Okay, words like
Rồi,
this.
để nói thêm con. Hả đâu? Rồi, để nói không? Last
Okay?
consonant, cái phụ âm cuối cùng của cái từ đừng có bỏ.
Okay, this is the last consonant. Okay, you all know what a consonant is, I'm sure. Okay, a consonant is any letter that is not a vowel. How many vowels in English?
Quẻ hoài đấy.
Correct, yeah.
Năm.
This is primary school stuff, okay? There are 5 vowels in English, all the other letters are consonants. Okay? K is a consonant, not a vowel. Right? It's very important for pronunciation in English, okay, that you must make sure the last consonant is clear. All right? So, for example, if you say, I like to tour with my friends, okay, shh, please don't talk when I'm talking. Okay, otherwise I move you. All right? No talking, I'm talking. Thank you. All right. If I say I tour with my friends, what does that mean? I tour with my friends. Okay, talk with my friends. Okay, every word you must make sure you pronounce the last consonant clearly. It's one of the ways that English is different from the English. Okay, even words that are like this. Okay, what is this word? Tall, tall. Now I know it is hard for you to pronounce L sounds, can be hard, but you must make an effort. Tall, tall is not tall. Okay? I am taller than my brother. Okay, doesn't make sense. I am taller than my brother, or I am more tall than my brother. So even a word that is a little bit hard to pronounce, like the L consonant, and it's the last consonant, okay, you must be aware of your pronunciation. And again, best way to practice, use your phone. Okay, just practice simple answers to questions like this. Listen back on your phone and just check, am I pronouncing the final consonant clearly? Can you say talk for me? Talk. Talk. Can you say milk for me? Milk. Good. Perfect. Okay, just like that. Simple as that. But when you are talking in conversation, I know it's very easy to forget to do this, but it's very important that you pronounce the last consonant. So again, I say, just make sure, practice using your phone, that you are pronouncing the last consonant clearly. Okay. Do you play any sport? Yes.
I usually play when at free time, and we play at school or nearby school. What I really like sport.
Good answer. That's fine. That's all you have to do. Great. Okay. Do you think it's important for all children to play some sport? Children now. For example. Football. Okay, well, okay, not bad. So for a question like this, you will see that he asked me, you've done it as well, asked me to repeat the question or ask me a question to clarify what I am asking. That is okay. Right? You can ask the examiner. When you come to do the exam, it's okay. If you don't understand, much better to say the examiner. Can you say that again, please? They've always been polite, using please. Or I don't understand the question. Can you repeat it? Okay, that is fine. So much better to ask the examiner that than to try and give an answer when you are not sure of the question. Okay, so that is fine. It's fine to ask. So that's good. Okay, and Jiaming asked one for you. Okay. Do you like to go to have a holiday near the sea or in the country?
I think it's will depend on the case. In the summer, I working from so. Other people want to go.
In the summer, I would be good. Because this is where you have to think quickly. Okay, okay, already you are pausing too long. Right? And again, simple answers. Would you prefer me not to go for a holiday in the country or to the sea?
If it's for the summer, I would definitely choose to see this one, making to go, the coast, or somewhere we could have seen them. But such as streams or maybe some podcasts.
Okay, see, very answer, very simple. That's good, much better than not. Simple answer. Okay, very easy. Okay, that's all you have to do. Okay. Again, just think, tell me what you would like. I like to go to the sea because I like to walk on the beach. Okay, and the sea air is very fresh. For example, the last holiday I went on with my parents, we went to. Okay, again, very easy. Or I don't like to go to the sea, I hate water. So when we go on holiday, we always go to the country. For example, the last holiday I went on with my parents, we went to somewhere not by the sea. We went to Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, all right. Okay, so again, it's simple answers. Okay, everyone, are there any questions about what I have told you? So just to summarize, how many sentences should there be, Big Lam, in a part one answer? Two and two or three. Okay. What should you always give, if you can, as your last sentence? An example. Okay. And again, just simple examples. Okay. No one expects you to give an original or clever answer. You are not doing that. All you are doing is just giving simple answers, hopefully just from your own experience, okay, in good English. That's all they want to hear. Okay, if you can do that, you will get a good score. All right, all you need to do. But I keep saying this, you need to. The easiest way to practice is just 10 minutes a day using your phone, especially when you're getting close to the exam. And I know maybe some of you are doing the exam later this year. Okay. All right, we are halfway, so we have short break. Okay, short break. It's a class is halfway. Okay, 5 minutes, everyone. Have a listen.
ให้สูงเราคือเราต้องสิ่งแล้วที่มันเป็นทำประจำเลยหรอเราที่เราแล้วเราพักเขาให้แล้วที่ต้องเรื่อยๆทำเลยมองที่แบบได้มีนักศึกษาบางตอนโดนมีท้องใจงานของเราของมันที่ให้ตัวเองก่อนวิธีการเรียนรู้ตัวให้เราเปลี่ยนพ่อไปที่ได้ทักษะทางตาได้ดูตาไม่เขาเป็นคนตายมากตายตายดูตายเฮ้ยนี่เลยนี่เดี๋ยวสุดเดี๋ยวสุดทำด้วยวันยอมเลยai lại lên xuống về không về âm chỉ nghĩa âm một lần người ô ngày ai đây à ngày ngày sau lúc bao bốn 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 ngày sau lúc bao thế con mình ơi ắt mày đi làm việc ắt mày đi làm việc tao không được
Okay, 2 more minutes, everyone. Anyone wants to go to the bathroom, now is a good time.
Ready.
The easiest way to speak up is. Okay, what is your name? What is your name? Good, okay, how old are you? Okay, sit up. Just like that. Just like that. It's not hard. You just need to be on the edge. Okay. Not laying you apart, all right? I mean, not the last answer you gave us this. Because. Good, very good, nothing wrong with it. But I think you are trying to maybe overthink it and make it simplest answer, the best answer is the simplest one. And you will find you will naturally start to use some of the formal words. And you're just giving the simple, words like, feasible. They will start coming into your life. Okay, everyone, let's go. All right, 1 more hour to go. Then you're all free. All right, so we're going to do part 2, speaking part 2. So remember, I have told you before, I am sure, the secret So part two is to what? Do you want to tell me? The secret to giving a good part two talk. Tell a story is a part of it. Yes, that is good. Like, tell a story is always good. I always encourage that. But the main secret, number one secret, is to make your own bullet points. Okay, bullet points. These are all, remember, these are all bullet points. These things are bullet points. You have 4 of them. Always have 4 of them. I'm sure you are familiar with the structure of a part two question. Make your own bullet points. Why do you want to make your own bullet points? Well, they help you tell your own story. Okay. And also, if you just follow their bullet points for this one, which we are going to do, okay, you very quickly run out of things to say. When was it? It was last Saturday. Where was it? It was at Hongiam Lake. What was it? I fell in the lake. Okay, so it has taken less than 10 seconds to do 3 of their bullet points. Okay, and you still have 1 minute 50 to talk. So you need to have your own bullet points. Okay, so that is the secret to it. Of course, use their bullet points. Okay, but you also can ignore them as long as you answer the main question, right? Which in this case, describe an exciting experience. Okay? The examiner will not sit there and say, oh, they didn't answer that bullet point, they didn't answer that. Okay, they will not. All they want to hear is you talk about an exciting experience. Right? That makes sense to everyone? Okay, so what I want you to do now is please, all right, we're going to go through this very quickly. I'm going to start with you, Minglock. All right, just for a change, I know I always start with the people at the end, which is not
Do
fair.
you want to have a 5 minute to break?
Already had, just had.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, okay.
I know, I'm too kind. Okay, may not do it. So everyone quickly, I want to hear your bullet points, all right? We did this in class the other day. All right, so quickly now, everyone. Remember in the exam, you have the and how long to write your bullet points? How long to prepare? 1 minute, yes. 1 minute is all you have.
You have a talking of water. And
Can't earn, I saw that as well. I stated it for now. Thank you, can't earn it.
nước
Thank you.
nước có qua sẵn bên nhé, nước ở bên mà mình ra là
Yeah, I want you to give me what your bullet points. You're in what the fuck have you answered anyway.
anh nhau đổ vào bên trên.
Of course, we haven't done this fast. So these are, well, this is a part two speaking. Part two speaking question, you always have these here. They will always have 3 bullet points like this. In this case, just listen to what everyone else does. Okay, this is the best. So don't go. But if you are going to tell about an exciting experience, what do you think of an exciting experience? The exciting when I go, it can be for example, not being as bold as other than
Đổi Lâm xong rồi đổi cháo cho bên kia được không?
it's kind of that's like your bag. You know, there's something like you need to clear your mind out. I know when you visit the people, you know, you now listen to what they are doing. Okay? I won't ask you this. Just listen to what they are answering. Okay. Minglock, are you ready? Just the bullet points, not the speech. Okay, everyone. All right, please be quiet. I want to hear everyone's comment. It's okay to keep eating. Please, no talk. Okay, Minglock, your bullet points, please. Sorry, Minglock, I need to go then. What is your topic going to be? Sorry. Yeah, what is your experience? Yes.
Um, I mean, the first noise in the
Sorry, your first prize in high school singing competition. Okay, good. Your bullet points are, everyone, hey, no talking. All right, while someone else is talking. Thank you very much.
Preparation for this training on some reinforced people. The second is what conferences that I learned from this experience.
Enough to talk for 2 minutes. Okay, that is the key. Is that enough to talk for 2 minutes? Okay, good. One on. Your experience,
I would like to get
your bullet points.
who's trying to I just think they can say that I mean I'm saying like the training before the stuff. I think that
Okay, good. Your experience,
like one show and what maybe doing about 2 years ago and how I need to make the not to learn and how to do reason why I almost wrong.
okay, good. Now I noticed some of you haven't written down your bullet points. Okay, you should write them down. Very clear. Right. Because the main reason to do this, of course, even though some of you I know are confident that you can talk for 2 minutes without bullet, it is just a good safety net for you if you write your bullet points down. Means you can always just look quickly at your piece of paper. Okay, if you think you are running out of something to say to remind you of the next. Okay, your experience is going to be. Yep. And the bullet points on.
I will talk about how it feels, how it felt. And you want to experiment, whatever. What do you want to do after?
Okay, enough for 2 minutes. Okay, good. Peter, your experience. Okay, and your bullet point.
when happen, it can be why it happened, and talk about what happened there. Why
Okay, good. Okay. Your experiences.
so it wasn't when I first I found being in high school. And the reason why this why this experience is sadly is because of the fact that it was the first time when it was the first time when I from up and it's also one of the biggest stuff in my school and there are many activities in
Okay, good. Your experience is.
my experience I think experience is when watching movie in the cinema. With my uncle is organized. It was organized by parents and um. mm, the movie is so amazing and is so okay. Um,
Yeah. So everyone remember your bullet points are just guides to help you tell your story. As Juan Ang said before, you need to be able to tell a story. Okay? Most of you already have given me good subjects that you can tell a story about. All the bullet points are just, as I say, guides, even can be one word. Because remember, you only have 1 minute to do this. You get just one word to remind you of the next part of your story. Okay. Okay. What is your topic?
that for the first time without helping to but that brought a lot of exciting here if I learn now that that help following the would let
Okay. Enough for 2 minutes? Not enough for 2 minutes. So remember, your bullet points should be enough so that you can talk for 2 minutes. Okay. And remember, you only have time, you would probably only write, in addition to the ones they have already given you, maybe you only need another 3 or 4 to be finished. Your experience. Yeah. Bullet points, some more. Good. All right. Done. What's your experience? Okay. All right. So remember, everyone, you should write these bullet points down, okay? Not just trying to remember them when I ask them, because, like I say, bullet points are a safety. Does this make sense now? All right, I will give you again the same example that I gave some of you for me a couple of weeks ago. My exciting experience learning how to dive under the water. Okay, so in addition to these bullet points, okay, I will also add to them, I was very scared, okay, and then all I need to do for my bullet points is write down the word scared, and then I can use that to talk about why I was scared. I was scared because maybe I didn't want to meet a shark, for example. I was scared I might drown, okay, if I got under the water. I was scared I wouldn't be able to swim. Okay? So, scared is my first bullet point. Okay, just one word. All I need, scared. That reminds me to tell that. Okay. Next one, my next bullet point would be something like how I achieved this, something like that. Okay, and that will remind me to say, well, I got over my fear because I went to the swimming pool. I practiced swimming a lot. Okay, so I wasn't so scared, and that I knew I wouldn't drown. Okay, then I went on a course. Okay, to teach me how to dive. All right, so just writing the words how I achieved that reminds me to tell all those parts of my story. Okay, and then my last bullet point might be just what happened next. And what happened next was I went to sit the exam for getting a diving certificate. Okay. Sorry.
And that is a
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so what happened next for me? I went to sit the exam to get a diving certificate. During the exam, they take you out to the sea. Okay, you have to jump off the boat. You have to swim down to the bottom. So you see, it's not that deep, but you swim down to the bottom. You have to practice taking your mask off. Okay, and then putting it back on underwater, getting all the water out of it without coming to the surface. That can be done. Okay, see. And all of that, just by saying what happened next, reminds me to tell all those different parts of the story. Does that make sense? So just writing down 3 simple bullet points. Scared, what did I do about it? What happened next? Okay, reminds me to tell the story. Okay. That makes sense for everyone? Okay, so you're all now going to give me a 2-minute talk. I know this might be a little bit boring for those of you who are waiting. Okay, sorry about that, but please try to listen to what the other students are doing. Please don't talk, okay, so I can listen to what each of you is doing. Okay, please respect your other students. All right? I will give you feedback on where I think we can each improve. Okay, so even while you are waiting, hopefully the feedback I'm giving to other students will stop you making the same mistakes. That makes sense? Okay. All right, I'm not going to start with you, okay? All right, okay, and then I'm going to go to you somehow. Okay, you're going to be second, right? And then I will just go around the room, okay? By the way, can you think of an exciting experience? You okay? That you could talk about? Yeah. What is it? Have you tried to join some club? Okay, when you want to join some club. Okay, that's fine. All right. And the other thing to remember, by the way, it's very useful to have a story that you can use for many different topics. And I'm sure I've said this before to many of you. But the example I often use is Knockling's story about getting lost in a cave. Okay, so Knockling's story about being lost in a cave can be an exciting experience. It can be a time she went on holiday with her family. Okay, all right. It can be a time when she was very scared. Tell me about the time you were scared. Okay, so the same story you can adapt to many different topics. Okay. Going to time you, everyone. All right, not. So what I am listening for is the same thing the examiner is listening for. Point number 1, of course, you need to talk for 2 minutes. Right? You must talk for the 2 minutes. If you talk past 2 minutes, that's fine. I will stop you. Same thing will happen to you in the exam. Okay, they will stop you after 2 minutes. Okay? If you are still talking mid-sentence, it doesn't matter. And you have to talk for 2 minutes. Right? So I'm going to be listening for the usual things which can be summarized as fluency. Can you talk without too many pauses, hesitations, fluency? Coherence. Does what you are saying make sense? Grammar and punctuation worth 25%. If you want to get a band 7, 50% of your sentences must have no mistakes. Okay? 50% of your sentences have no mistakes. And the last one, of course, is pronunciation. Can I understand what you are saying? Are you pronouncing it correctly? Again, pronunciation, I will do a separate course on this, by the way, next week. Okay, but pronunciation, we tend to forget about that, but it's worth 25%. Okay? And pronunciation is probably the easiest. And all you have to do is make sure you're doing simple things like I had the word talk before, you're pronouncing the last consonant. Okay, just simple, easy things. Okay? And if you do that correctly already, you have 25% of the marks. Okay, that is the easiest one to get marks in. Are there any questions before I start? Okay, so Huang Ang is going second, but first of all, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to hear from Ming Not. Ming Not, you have 2 minutes to talk about an exciting experience. Great, let's get note paper ready. So I can make notes for you. I will tell you to start. And by the way, you will see everyone, I am sitting here, means you people sitting over there are going to have to speak up. Not so much for you. They're lucky. Okay, 2 minutes starting now, please. Not.
Yes. So, we can talk about students and my father and my life is the first year of my foundation. And I was lucky, my parents I'm not sure about training. I have a little problem. So there's a plan that everyone from school or in the college is going for simplification, and I was that's right. So I was asking again to fit into the operation and the pre-operation to bring the first place final part, but in the last one I looking. So when I finish my performance, my classmates, my teachers, my parents, and my parents support me to set it somehow. And I feel so tired. Then when the candidates was told about their price, and I was shocked. Yes, of course, because I am the first prize, like the first person. And the lesson that I took from this experience that I had to be confident in myself, and it's also that I need to show off myself. And
okay, 2 minutes. Good, very good. Okay, please help me mark her. Okay, her fluency. Okay, was she fluent? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yes, she was fluent. Okay, she didn't stop. She didn't have too many pauses. Was she coherent? Tell me. In other words, did this story make sense? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, everyone. This story makes sense. Grammar, okay. Some small mistakes, but nothing major. Okay. Pronunciation. Could you all understand what she was saying? Yeah. Pronunciation, good. Okay. Very good. Hang on. Okay. So just some small grammar mistakes. You are always going to make some small grammar mistakes. Okay. Doesn't matter. All right. Doesn't matter that much. You can still get a 9, the top score in Ielts, and make some mistakes. 9 doesn't mean everything has to be perfect. Okay? They still accept some small mistakes. Okay? A lot of native speakers can't speak 100% perfectly. I'm sure it's the same in Vietnamese as well. Okay? So some small grammar mistakes, nothing too bad. I won't even mention it because there's nothing bad, nothing rude to know. Okay? But you did all the major things well. You're not. Great. Okay, and you talk for 2 minutes easily. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for our next start? Our next star. I'm just teasing. Okay, one arm, you have 2 minutes starting from now.
So I'm going to talk to you about my once in a lifetime experience. It's about the online tournament, online gaming tournament. And it all randomly happened when I was playing game normally on a summer day on 6 months ago. And I randomly put up with a matchmaking with I matched with a game developer and somehow in that game I played really well and he invited me out to his old tournament. When I looked at the board, I thought I was shocked because I saw the name, I saw familiar name that was a professional athlete that was my favorite. Um, so I went on like a so I went on the 12 hours a day training. I thought I was ready for the tournament, but in the first round I was struggling so much. The opponent used the sniper rifle, so when I looked out, I always shot in the body, but I am managed to clutch out that five ball. By the way, the best of nine. I clutch out the five ball because I got the two headshots with my assault rifle. But unfortunately, in the second round, I am met with that professional player, and I am absolutely stood no chance. He used the shotgun and a bunch of proven piece, so I couldn't do anything with my also rifle. But in the end, I was really happy that I am into this tournament and got a lot of experience in for my tournament.
Okay, is that it? All right, 1 minute 58. Okay, pretty close. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, ladies, was he fluent? Okay, remember fluency means, did he have any big forces? No. Don't you think so? Okay. Was he coherent? Remember coherent? Did it make sense? Yeah, it's pretty coherent. Grammar, okay, pretty good. All right. All your past tense is good. Remember, obviously, if you're telling a story that happened in the past, you must use past tense. Right? Pronunciation, some small problems, but not too bad. Again, I could understand. So, very good, fine. All right, excellent. Okay, who would like to go next? Are there any volunteers who want to get it out of the way before I choose someone? He probably don't. Okay. Oh.
I can sleep and.
Okay, little
No.
Okay.
So.
Hang on, I'll get my time if you see. Okay, are you ready? Yeah, we have 2 minutes starting from now.
I think I to talk about exciting experience that I had in my leadership with my school. That is the day I will take the ride in the roller coaster with my friend. It was in the final way. And before that, months before that, I feel very excited. And that's what very much. Excited to work through the day to ride the roller coaster. When the day comes, me and my friend waited a long way to take a ride to the roller coaster. On the ride, at first it was very slowly, and when it go up all the way up and it dropped down, like my heart really hot. Me and my family were screaming out of the soul and pretty excitedly, but also fasting at the end of the trip. we were frustrated, but also we were really good. We were, and after that we would have a drink and some cake.
Okay, right, so that is 1 minute 50, so a little bit short. And so again, this is where it's important to write down some bullet points. Did you write them down?
Yes,
Okay, good, all right. So we need obviously to practice so that you can talk for 2 minutes. All right. Again, was he fluent? Actually, yes, he was fluent. Did his story make sense to you? About the roller coaster? Yes, it did. And you used some good adjectives. Okay. Grammar, pretty good. Not too many problems. Pronunciation, it's fine. What I especially liked about what you did about time is that you talked to me. He talked to me like he was talking just to someone at a cafe, having a cup of coffee. Okay. Remember, you don't, for this, it is not a speech. Giving a speech is something slightly, is more formal, something slightly different. So it is okay to do what we did there, where it was very casual. Okay, the way you approach it, that is good. Right? So you are communicating. Remember, communication is the main test. So you communicated very well. You didn't panic. Okay. Even when you were thinking of ideas, you still kept talking. Right? You didn't stop. So that's good. So being casual, you two were fine. Okay? You two were fine as well. But being casual like he did then is okay. Okay, little man? So the only thing you need to improve, of course, is being able to talk for the 2 minutes. It can seem quite a long time. And again, the only way you're going to get used to this is to practice it with your life. Right? If you are not sure you can talk for 2 minutes, start at 1 minute, like I've been doing with most of you. Then increase it a little bit for the next time. 1 minute, 15 seconds, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 45, and so on. Any questions about this might anyway, just the duration. Okay. Not me. Let's reset my time. Okay. Don't worry, I won't ask you because you've never heard. I just hope you can get the idea of what they're doing and what to do with it. Okay, you have 2 minutes. Modeling starting from now.
Yes, I'm going to tell you what time that I have. I'm going to explain with my complaint. Last year we went to my portrait. I was very looking forward to it. In the morning, I wake up very early, about 5 a.m. to make sure that I bring enough items. I eat breakfast and arrive on time. We travel by the bus, was very large, and the bus is covered with many people, and the trip took 2 hours to arrive at the location. On the bus, we are have some cleaning. When we arrive at the location, we check in the 5-star hotel. The room that we stay in is very large and it's have many items that make you feel very comfortable and very cozy. The staff is very friendly. I think that this hotel we must visit the 5-star because it's high quality. Next, we went to a education complex and we played some game. After that, we ate ice cream. My friends was very jealous. She paid for the bills. Um, I was very appreciate her for that. Um, in the afternoon, we have to go a car show. It was
Okay, thank you, Lachlan. That was 2 minutes. Good, okay. Guys, was she fluent? Very good.
I think everything except
What's the big problem?
wrong.
Wrong team?
I
For example,
I heard that she is the present tense with the past tense and the with the past tense she say that we were and that's the first sentence she say that like I am right now I will I think that was
correct. Very good. Very well done. Here's correct. And good thing. Stuff to ring, of course, always needs to be fun. I work out my 8th grade with this. Excellent. Okay. So coherence, did it make sense? Okay. What you were saying is a grammar. Okay, grammar, but coherent, yeah, it made sense. Okay, pronunciation is good. Okay, I could understand very clearly. You speak very well. That's good. So the only thing I would like to change about her, Markley, is did you notice she speaks differently from you? Okay, she spoke every sentence with a little bit of a pattern. Okay, she said, then we had breakfast and then we got on the bus and then we went to the hotel and the hotel was very nice. It was 5-star and then I had a meal and my friend was very generous and she paid for me. And okay,
I feel like the models.
yeah, so yeah, it is a little bit of a pattern. That's where I am. Not casual, like little kind. Wow, okay, it was the opposite of that. Okay? That is not, it's not a bad law, okay? Don't worry too much about it. But I need you to practice talking, just like maybe we are having a couple. And I say, oh, okay, I hear you went to Halong Bay with your class. Tell me. And then you would just tell me the story naturally. So just be careful you are not talking, all your sentences sound a bit similar in terms of the way you were talking about. They were all about the same length. Okay, and they all have the same pattern. Okay? All right, which is not such good communication. Like I say, it's not a big problem because you were fluent, okay, you made sense. Okay, apart from the occasional mistake in tense, didn't make any grammar mistakes, and your pronunciation is good. But you just try and need to be a bit more casual. For those of you, I don't know if you noticed, for all of her talk, she was smiling. Okay, she was smiling. Yeah, you can smile in the test. Right? You don't have to be, I know it's a test. Okay, maybe you are nervous. It's a bit serious, but you can smile, you can laugh in the test. Remember, it's part of communication. You know, you can even make some joke if you like. Okay, good. This guy, he was professional. And I knew I didn't stand that too much. Okay, you can say it like that. Okay, don't have to be serious all the time. Does that make sense, Mark? Yeah. Okay, so you just need to practice. Again, when you're practicing on your phone, try to practice like you're talking to a friend or talking to your someone. Okay, any questions? Great, thank you. All right, everyone, 20 minutes to go. I'll try to be fast. Be at 10, please. Are you ready? Okay. 2 minutes. Be at 10 starting now.
I want to talk about my military training with my classmate. It happened long time ago, remember, but I remember it was a training course of school to teach us about our country military. We moved to the military university. We learned about some projects and very exciting for that. It was the first time I've been there. It's also the first time I've been living as a soldier. It's for 2 days, but uh, very new experience for me to learn more about my country military. Unfortunately, I wasn't have a chance to interact with them there, but I heard that I will be interacting and training with them when I go to the 11th grade. So I'm very looking forward to it. Uh, at the end of the trip, I was willing and very willing to talk my story back with my parents at home, and I'm waiting for the experience about my son.
Okay. 1 minute 53. Not bad, 50. Okay. Again, was he fluent? Yeah. Okay, he didn't stop speaking. Was he coherent? Did it make sense? Yes, it did. Grammar, pretty good. Again, some small mistakes, not too much to worry. Pronunciation, again, pretty good. I could understand everything you were saying. Just the same as I was saying to not link, just with your delivery, is a little bit the same, right? It's all on the same level. I think you can, I know this is how you speak naturally, okay, be a British, but you can be afford to be a little bit more relaxed. Guns, I was looking forward to interacting with them, but we didn't get the chance this time. So I'm looking forward to it next time. See how that is different from spoken like that? Does that make sense to you? So maybe you could just put a little bit more life into what you are saying, into your voice would help you speak up. Does that make sense? Okay, so you are doing, again, this is a small point, okay, you're doing the basics well. Okay, fluency, yeah, coherent, yeah, pronunciation, fine. Okay, you get a higher score, right? Just relax a little bit and tell me more of the story. Okay, like you are enthusiastic. Okay. Okay, hope that makes sense. Again, small part, because you got the main things. Okay, fun me. Now let's reset my timer. Okay, 2 minutes.
Now I will talk about one of the most exciting experience that I had art. It was a time when I first attended to a project a big project of my job in my school. It was 4 months after I came to the club. The project lasted for 3 days. The first day is collecting clothes and toys that people donated. I was divided to bring the items to the storage room and then have them to separate, which was for boys, which was for girls, and toys too. In the second days, my club organized a workshop in a cafe that we are cooperated with to do this project. I have the responsibility to be as a waiter, which means I brought drinks, waters, and drinks, foods, and also workshop things to our customers. Um, it's it's obviously a big project, so many people attend. It was maybe up to 100 people in there, so I feel very exhausted, but I feel happy because I can attend this project. In the final day, we are finally get to.
Okay, 2 minutes. Thank you. 2 minutes already. Okay. Did you find that hard? 2 minutes? Not too much. Good. That's good. You pulled well. Okay, again, fluent, pretty good. Okay, coherent, your story makes sense. Grammar, point yeah, sort of thing. Again, you change, sometimes you change tense. Okay, remember past tense. Okay, I feel, it should be I felt. I felt happy. I feel happy. He says, I felt. Again, but that small thing, pronunciation is good. I can hear you very clearly, even though you're down the other end of the table. Actually, you too, Vietnam. Okay, you are speaking loud enough. So. Okay, and again, I noticed you vary your delivery of it, which is good. You change the tone of your voice sometimes, which helps make your story sound a bit more interesting. So that's pretty good. Okay, Connie? Okay, no major problem. Right? The more you do this, the better you will feel. Okay, Chung Yu. 2 minutes, starting now.
So people start with some more different. I like to you some more. You know, you doing it and you make people like, hey, let's go swimming because we don't know how to swim today. So we come to the pool. Have to learn the basic things like most of the people know how to do like the size maybe or how to swim normally. I thought it's like the first time we have very until my left start, until my left foot is double to let me somehow go and for them really getting wrong. And look we have a place. After a moment, I realized the first of my left really is about in one water and half of that.
Okay, there's 1 minute 50. Okay, that's you were going very well, Changyu, up until there. Okay, so Changyu, what I enjoyed about that, okay, was the way you talked about you brought some life into it, talking about your sister. Okay, very good. Okay, that was great. Thank you. Excellent. Good. You start off very well, but in the end, you ran out of things to say. Right? So again, this is where doing the bullet points, you need to make sure you have enough bullet points so you can tell the story for 2 minutes. Okay? But your first 1 minute 30, Changyu was good. Very good. So again, Changyu, for you, you just need to practice with your phone. Okay, talking for 2 minutes. Right? And doing the bullet points. All of you, by the way, now, of course, you are old enough that you can self-teach. Okay? As your teacher, I am now more just your guide. Okay? And I can suggest things for you. But you are all perfectly able now, because you are older, you are not children anymore. You can sit down yourself and you know that you need to practice talking for 2 minutes using your mind. Well, you can all do that yourself without any teacher to supervise. Okay, this is how you're going to improve. Any questions for me, Chang? So your first minute 30 was great. Very good. Excellent. Just need another 30 seconds. The same thing. Okay. 10 more minutes, everyone. Okay. Are you ready? Bing Lam. Okay, you have 2 minutes, Bing Lam. Starting from now, please.
I want talk about the first time I watched the movie is when with my uncle, my parents, and my father. Uh, yeah, this experience was happened when I was 10 years old, and I still remember that. The movie is a horror film, and it's made me so sad. Um, then we go to a famous restaurant
Có cái bình trà có phải đấy.
to eat dinner, and the food in restaurant is so amazing and make me say wow, that's so nice. Um, it's so that's very so fun, and I think it's so exciting and amazing.
Okay, so you got to 1:15. Okay, which is pretty, is this the first time you have done this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the first time you've done it. That's pretty, it's good for a first time. Okay, again, you start off very well. Okay, I like the way he used wow. Okay, all right. You can use that, you know, it makes it come alive, makes it interesting to listen to. So, for example, you could use that nothing, talking about the fights into the camp. Wow, walked into the room. Wow, this is great. No, really luxurious, you know. Big beds, you know, everything, the furniture, great, you know. Big TV, you know. You know. Okay, that's good. For your first time, that's very good. So just to improve, again, like I was saying before, practice with your phone, being able to talk for long. Okay, you can all go online and find topics to talk about. Very easy to find speaking about people. But for first time, it's good. Okay, very good. Okay, all right. Are you ready? Okay. 2 minutes starting now.
Yeah, I will talk to you about my experience cooking. When I first cooked my rice, I poured too much water, making it like a soup, not a rice. And then my mom not thinking about it. She encouraged me a lot to make innovation. And for the second time, I cooked my overcooking. When the first time I learned how to marinate the meat, and I learned how to cook it well, I started to learn on the YouTube of social media, and I put the meat very well, but I still miss some ingredients. So I go outside and buy some food. And buy some ingredients. I cook in it again, and my mom is really happy about my meal. That is
You see him?
yeah.
Okay, 1:20. Okay, so a little bit short, But up until then, it was good. Yeah, we think it was fluent. Yeah, pronunciation was good. I could hear all your words. It was good. It made sense, so it was coherent. Right. But again, just a little bit short. So again, everyone, this is where in your 1 minute preparation, you must make sure you have, first of all, a good story that you can tell. Be it here, you're on about military training, great. Okay, all of your subjects have been good, but you are running out of things to say because you are not having enough enough small bullet points to get you through the story. Again, I go back to the example that I used about learning how to dive. All right, you need to even just write down some single words, right, to remind you of the next part of the story. So it could be on the help you restraint. Okay, learning of future is all good. Okay? You can maybe just have some more detail about the recipe. Okay, or help you fill in the 2 minutes. Does that make sense? Okay, and what parts of the recipe that you found hard, what parts of the recipe were easy. Okay, does that make sense? Good. Okay, 2 more, everyone. Johnny, do you want to do this? Okay, all right. Okay, are you ready? Okay. By the way, thank you everyone for being quiet and patient. Okay, it's great. We're doing very well. Thank you. All right. We'll be very respectful and polite to your classmates, which is good. Okay, like I say, only 2 more to go and the class will be finished. Okay, 2 minutes. Starting. There. Okay, can you think of more of that in your experience? That is 1 minute, 1 minute 5, 1 minute and 5 seconds. Okay, so first point, could you hear not like what he was saying? No. Okay, so keep quiet. Okay, you need to speak up. Right, even though I'm sitting quite close to you, I found it a little bit hard to hear. Okay, his grammar, what do you think?
Like stuff for some mistakes, what was using wrong and that's it.
Okay, some tense mistakes, some of the words not quite right. For example, instead of saying we go up to, should be we went up to. Okay, afterwards. So it is a good story, obviously, learning how to garden. Okay, great story, very exciting experience. To fill up the 2 minutes for something like that should be quite easy, I think. Okay, talk about the preparation you have to do. You know, you have to get the parachute with it. Okay, talk about how did it feel, you know, go up in the aeroplane. What training do you have to do for it? Okay. Were you scared? All right. All those sorts of things can be in the bullet points as you are telling the story from beginning to end. Does that make sense? So that is how to make your story longer. And a story like that easily should be able to talk for 2 minutes for an experience like that. Okay. So just remember the main problem with the grammar is just the all past. That must be the way. Okay, 1 more, everyone. Then we will finish. Jamie, are you ready? Okay, 2 minutes, Jamie. Starting now. Everyone. Sorry, Jamie. Okay, everyone. Chung Hu, can you wait, please? Okay, it's a little bit distracting for you. Okay, Jamie. Thank you.
start really early to go to go. And the work very we go is where we have a festival in there and I don't quite remember what was that but from after that we especially also to go and do our job for hotel. Looking at taking time to the world, and then we look forward to the show. But after that, it has baseball complete. We very really need to we very good in training of things to fear and alcohol and we very teacher we realize we want to talk to
Okay, 2 minutes. Thank you, Tommy. Okay, Ming-Nok, could you hear? Just, yeah, it's a little bit quiet, okay, you need to speak up. Even I'm sitting right next to you, it sounded a little bit quiet. Yeah, okay, so need to speak up, so the girls can hear you. Okay, all right, okay, can you help me be the teacher, please? What do you think?
this.
Fluency.
It's not really good.
Yeah, very good.
It's already
Coherent, makes sense. Then grammar. Really grammar mistakes. Grammar. Yeah.
Again, because that's the thing. Also, the
Okay. So some small grammar mistakes. Nothing major. Okay. Pronunciation. Okay. Little bit hard to hear. Okay. So he actually said, I know it was hard for you to hear. Actually, he was varying his voice quite a lot. Okay, that was good. You just need to make it louder down there. Okay. It sounds like you are being a little bit shy. Okay, summary. Yes, you think that I'm a bit shy. You just need to present it more confidently. Okay. All right, everyone. So the main thing from this, for those of you who couldn't talk for the 2 minutes, you need to give me more details. Skydiving, very exciting story. Okay, lots of detail you could add to make it 2 minutes. Okay, process. The same with the cooking. All right, even cooking maybe not as exciting as skydiving. Doesn't matter. All right, you just need to give me more detail to make it for the 2 minutes. Okay.
So you say I have to have more 2 seconds to
No, 1 minute 58 is pretty close. Close enough. Okay. All right, everyone. All right, before you all rush away, are there any questions? Okay, so next week, all right, I'm here for next week.